Okay, so I've got the recorder up on the other monitor. I can see that it's recording this time. Uh, Round two. So I was a little bit surprised that it's a Leona top, and in fact, it ends up being a little bit detrimental to the game. Uh, I think you guys lose because of your solo lanes, but I was definitely really impressed with your play. So Uh, oh, like I said, I like your starting build. I like your runes. I don't think that your actual masteries are 2190, um, but if they are, not too keen on that. So this play, not exactly the right direction. I would have liked it to be like down towards you guys, just because, like, I know it missed, but like, had you hit it, you would have knocked it away instead of into you. But that being said, definitely really strong level 1 trade here. You auto Janna when you need to, you auto Vayne when it's available. Very nice, very nice. Maybe overstated a little bit, but the most important part here is that your Tristana was able to push the wave while their Vayne and Janna were trading with you. So, you guys are going to be able to get a nice level 2 power spike, and you hit this godlike hook on the Janna. I 100% do not believe that you did that on purpose, and if you tell me you did, I will not believe you. But very, very nice, very sexy. Um, I was really pleased with the fact that you went for the hook, or you walked towards Janna as if you were going to hook her, and then you threw it at Vayne. Very nice fake out. It's going to force the Janna to flash, and the Vayne's not going to be prepared for it, because obviously Vayne's thinking that you're going to hook Janna, Janna thinks you're going to hook Janna, Janna's going to flash to dodge it, Vayne's going to sit there and eat it to the face. So you blow Janna's flash, and you get the hook off on Vayne. It didn't work out quite like that, because Janna like Secret Service flashed by mistake, but regardless, very nice play, very nice level 2 power spike. At this point, you are 100% the reason that you're winning this game so far. Again, a very nice clean hook. I believe you guys get a kill here too. Tristana definitely didn't need to jump in on that. I believe she blew both of her summoners, when all she had to do was let the E drop and she would have got the kill. But very nice. You are the reason that you're winning this game. You hit the hook on Vayne. You hit the nice hook on Janna. You are carrying so far. Um, as far as itemization goes, personally, I like a little bit earlier on the Targons, but good job getting the wards and the pink and all that. Really nice. I think you could have hit that Janna, but whatever, not a huge deal. You pink right here, um, and I'm not I'm not fond of this pink spot, because it's a neutral spot for you, and you don't want to ward in a neutral spot, because neutral spots shift really easily with the wave. So if they push up, it becomes a pretty defensive spot for them, and an aggressive spot for you, whereas if you put it in a defensive spot for you, at worst it's neutral. Um, I think you attended my warding seminar, so that should make sense. If not, essentially this is too aggressive. Um, because if they have the wave even pushed to here, they can rotate and take it freely, or their jungler can come and take it freely. And while you spot out a gank, you don't get much beyond that. So I think that this ward is uh, definitely too aggressive. Um, and I would be really surprised if it doesn't get spotted out quickly. Also, had you put it here, you'd clear up a gank path for your jungler, so you sweep this ward out. It's really easy to protect this spot, and you know that this is clear, so your jungle can come for a gank. That's what pink wards are for. If you'd thrown a regular ward in that bush, it'd be a good spot. Pink ward, not so much. Um, so moving forward, here I point out that you go for a really aggressive play because you're in a position to, right? Like your team is winning, you guys are winning your lane, and the main reason for that is because you've been really aggressive and you've been making these plays. So you want to keep doing that. good logic. You're up a pickaxe 80 carry wise, and you yourself have a whole sight stone and health over her. I believe it's 150 health. Yeah. So combat stats wise, you guys are definitely ahead. The problem is the waves are in a neutral spot, so it's really hard for you to make aggressive plays. The best that you can do is sit right here and try and zone. Now, if you two are duo queue, you need to manipulate the wave better. You need to uh, freeze back here or push to the tower. So the reason for that is if you've got the wave frozen here, you can sit in this bush at the end or whatever, and you can zone these guys, both of them, off of the wave completely by yourself. You'll deny gold and XP by freezing. It's a little bit harder to freeze with Tristana, but it's possible. So definitely want to work on like wave manipulation. I understand it's probably not somebody you're on a call with or anything, so it's definitely hard to coordinate things like this. But if you're duo queuing, that's something that you want to do. Or when you're duo queue in the future, that's definitely something that you need to do is freeze when you're ahead or shove to the tower. Personally, I like freezing, especially in this matchup, because Vayne can get really strong if you let her free farm. So what'll happen is if you take this tower, you guys are going to go mid, right, and try and take this tower. Well, Vayne is just going to sit here and freeze and free farm, and that is just going to end up being a really strong Vayne, which is not something that you want. So you need to work on wave manipulation. Oh, but the reason I paused is because if you look at this wave, you notice it's the same as this wave. So you're trying to make a really aggressive play here by going for this like lantern hook, but the minion blocks it, right? How can you know where the waves are? Look at your own wave. So when you were looking for that play and you threw the lantern, the wave was probably like here or something like that. Now, had you looked at your own wave, you would have realized, or it may have been here. You would have realized like, I don't have time for this because the wave's going to be here and she's just going to run to it. So you would have waited. So, looking at where your wave is good, especially on like Thresh or Nautilus or something that's got like a hook blitzcrank, where a minion can really mess up and engage. So I can see that you really want to make a play here. And you do get this really nice flay hook, and that was well played. But like I said, you're pushed way too far up. You just don't have the space to make a play. So what you guys do is you push this tower a bit, and then you go for a cheeky play, if I recall correctly. I believe you guys go and you sit in this bush off to the side. Maybe you push up this one last wave, and then you sweep it as you back, and then you go for like this little bush trap thing, which I really liked. You get the Janna, I believe, and you force her flash. So it's a really smart play. The only reason that she lived is because she flashed and Vayne had a really nice condemn. So really smart play to call for a pick like that, and you guys lost nothing, right? You go back to base a little bit later, but overall you don't lose anything. Also, I don't think your ADC should have been backing at that point anyways, because she didn't have BF sword. Now this play is extremely greedy and aggressive, and I love it. When you see this Wukong over here and you go for the hook and you get the clone and you flash flay, brilliant, right? Like, you know that you have the Sejuani to follow up, you know that you've got your Tristana to follow up, and that was a super aggressive, super smart play to make, and you really could have only used your flash, but the Tristana may not have seen the Sejuani. So, now because of those two really nice plays that you had, the Janna forcing the flash on the Janna, and then making that pick on Wukong, you were able to base. Your Tristana got the BF sword, and you guys are in a really, really good position. Vayne has a Vamp Sep, whereas you've got like half of an IE, 3/4 of an IE on your ADC. Like, this is a really good spot for you to be in, but unfortunately you guys throw this game. This is where you should be pinking, like, constantly. Like, that's where your pink belongs. Your Mad Life constantly hitting all these great hooks, but if I remember correctly, this is where you throw. No. Wow. That was a really nice hook. No, this is where you throw. You overchase, and if we look at just your vision, and we go back a bit, you see Morgana, or Mordekaiser, Janna, and Wukong. You see all three of them just looking at the mini-map at Dragon. And then you don't see them. So, when you are, like, here, when you throw that hook, you need to just look over here and say, oh shit, I only see the Wukong, which he was the only one there at the time. Or, oh shit, nobody's there. And you need to turn around. Because had you turned around and tri-brush, dropped your ult, ran away, thrown the Lantern to Tristana, you guys might have been able to live. You make a really nice play with that hook on the Wukong, and you're able to save Tristana. Unfortunately, she like tries to bait the Mordekaiser and dies. But you know, had you been a little bit more aware of where everybody was on the map, you would have seen that they're rotating to come get you, and Mordekaiser would have never gotten this like snowball that he's getting right now. He's Mordekaiser, he's gonna be super farmed, and you guys just gave him 2 kills, which really bad for you. He makes a comeback, and you know, you played this game, I watched it already. He eventually carries. So kind of a throw there, but whatever. This is the value of boots and mobility. So probably, let's see. So your Fiddlesticks farming mid, and right about now, you see the Janna's there, and the Mordekaiser's there, and you go, right? Had you not had these boots of mobility, and you went like Ninja Tabby or Merc Treads, which a lot of people try to make the argument for, both of them, you definitely wouldn't have gotten here in time to do anything. Instead, you itemize properly, in my opinion, as far as the boots go, and you're able to get this rotation. That hook was a little bit sketchy. Probably weren't going to hit it just because the minion wave was really thick, but it doesn't matter, nobody gets away. So it's a really nice rotation from you, and why did that happen? Awareness and the boots that you bought. So a lot of people try to make the argument for Ninja Tabby. I don't think Ninja Tabby is good, like, ever. It mitigates like 10% of damage dealt by auto attacks or something, which isn't bad, but compared to the other things that boots can do, it's not worth it. You can have 35% tenacity or something like that from Merc Treads, which is huge, or you can have the super speed for roams and deep vision from boots mobility, which is also huge. I might even say huger. So, you know, going boots mobility is 99.9% of the time going to be your best option. The only time you're going to want to go Merc Treads is going to be when they have a lot of CC, like everyone on their team's rocking some CC, and you need tenacity. But very nice, we see the value of the Merc Treads there. Or I'm sorry, the value of the Mobies there. I believe you save Sejuani here. and that was all because of a really nice play and a really nice hook. And then I'm pretty sure now is when you get this like god hook onto the Vayne. Yeah, you kill this minion and then hook, and 110% create this kill. Really nice play. I just freaked out the first time I saw it. That was great. You capitalized on her poor positioning, 110%. Great play, all you. Once again, you make another play with this Janna. You know, you hit the hook when she was over chasing. So great. So far, you have made like every kill that your Tristana's got. You're having a really nice game. The only problems are your vision, which is kind of what a support's for, and you're a little overly aggressive, and that just comes back to vision, right? You haven't been overly aggressive yet, besides that one time where you sort of got you and Tristana killed, but beyond that, you know, really nice play from you. Mechanically, it's been absolutely amazing. Let's go back to everyone's view. It's this one, yeah. Very nice hook on the Janna. Like, this has been clinical Thresh play. Like, absolutely fundamental, really nice play. You missed that hook on Mordekaiser, which I don't think it would have saved you. Mordekaiser ends up running you down here. But, you know, it may have. I doubt it. Regardless, good job. Like, you know, sometimes you'll see people give up here and they like start BMing, but then that would have let them shove this mid up and take the tower. So by you not doing that, you at least stalled them taking the tower. I don't recall if they get it or not. Probably. Yeah, but they might have been able to get 2 towers had you like stopped and BM'd. You get your face to the mountain, which is going to be a pretty big power spike for you. Oh, this team fight. I think this team fight is one of the bigger turning points. Obviously, the first mistake that you had was that bot one where Mordekaiser got the double kill at Dragon. Well, when they were doing Dragon and peeled off, and you guys overchased, and then this is another one. So, Leona hits a really nice ult onto the Vayne. And I feel like you were in that situation where you see 4 of them and they're all running this way and you're like, you know what, I'm just going to throw one and it'll probably hit something. The problem with that is it didn't hit something, right? Like, you've got this really big CC from the Leona and it hits their high priority target. Is this a clone or is it Janna? No, it's Janna. So she hits a really high priority target with this Vayne. Had you hit the hook on Vayne, this fight might have gone a completely different direction. You could have gone in, you know, flayed her towards your team, or flayed the other 3 away, right? And then you would have had a free kill on the Wukong. But you missed your hook, and then J4 comes in, turns this around. You sort of dance with him here with that little step back in. And he ults, you throw the lantern, kind of bait the Leona, and then the Sejuani follows up. You get away, but both of them are gonna die. Kind of your fault because you threw that lantern. I'm not gonna say that it was 100% your fault. Everybody made some mistakes there. The Leona shouldn't have taken the lantern. You probably should have hit a hook earlier. The Sejuani had a pretty bad ult. She ulted the J4 and the Wukong when she could have hit the back line. Wukong or Fiddlesticks is just never with your team. But you know, these 2 really big turning points have been spots where you haven't been at the top of your game, and this is exactly how solo queue is. If you let your like A game slip for 1 second, they are going to capitalize on it and you are going to get screwed. So Once again, I think you guys are a little bit overly aggressive, and you end up getting your whole team killed here. This is one of those cases where you're trying to make a pick, you're trying to be aggressive, which is really good for your playstyle, and you're good at it, right? Like you CC'd the Mordekaiser just like you needed to and all of that. But what you thought was a pick ended up being a bait, and you didn't know because you don't have vision down. So really have to improve that vision game and turn all this like really good aggression into really good smart aggression. Again, I don't know where your Fiddlesticks has been this whole game. I'd imagine he's been like flaming this whole game or something. Because he's just not doing anything. It's literally been a 4v5 this whole time. Maybe he like doesn't want to play or something, but good save on the Leona. And this is sort of where you guys start to slip and you can't do anything about it because your guys keep getting picked alone. You know, they've got Baron and your guys are going out and getting killed. Again, kind of a lack of vision. You and Sejuani both need to be warding better. You both have sight stones. This game, you know, you were really hot at the beginning, and then, like, again, Leona gets picked. Fiddlesticks almost gets picked. Sejuani got picked at one point. Honestly, I think you might be the only person that doesn't get picked from overextending. But, you know, you surrender here soon, and that's the end of the game. But I think that the main factors for you guys losing this game were lack of vision and a little bit overly aggressive. Also, your Fiddlesticks just like AFK'd in a different lane. But from you, it was a little bit of over-aggression, lack of vision, kind of a wonky itemization in my opinion, but you know, you can build how you like. And kind of, you know, had you manipulated the wave a little bit better, you would have been in a better situation. But all of that aside, really great game mechanically. Not a loss that you like directly caused. I would definitely say though that the two team fights that I think were really key in them coming back, the first one being the Dragon one and the second one being the one by your red buff, you were not on your game. And like I said before, that's exactly how solo queue is. If you're not on your game, you can't rely on your teammates to make the right play. So you being a little bit off ended up turning into a loss because your team didn't pick up your slack. You know, normally in this game you were making these picks and you were hitting really nice hooks and getting the Vayne and the Janna and the Wukong and the Mordekaiser to some extent. Like you were making really nice plays, but when you weren't making the nice plays, your team didn't know what to do. So, you know, a little bit more consistency, some better vision, some smarter aggression, and you've got it. Like this is a great replay to exhibit just the sheer mechanical skill that you've got on Thresh, and it's really above average, really strong. So, you know, good game. We will talk about wave manipulation, stuff like that, if you want. I don't know how often you do a cube, but um, we can talk about that stuff. And yeah, really, really strong game from you.